Kayla's classroom setup. We are making progress. So today, my focus is her door, her classroom door. Now for this was something that we both put a lot of thought into. It was something that we really wanted to be impactful. And in doing that, we thought that we would add Ray's favorite quote by Avicii. One day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. That was hands down Ray's favorite quote. He had it up in his room, and I have that plaque here in my craft room with me. It was something that Kayla truly wanted to incorporate into her classroom, was a piece of Ray in a silent way without making it obvious. And so we thought by decorating one of her doors with this theme that it would be the perfect way to do that. Now, Kayla doesn't know how I'm doing it. She hasn't seen what I came up with. That part is a surprise, and so today she is not in the classroom with me. Today was her on-site orientation, and so she just dropped me off in her room and left me there for the day while she was doing her on-site orientation. And I figured that since she wasn't here on this day, it was definitely the day that I should focus on the door and surprise her with it when she's done with her day so she can see it. Probably wasn't the best idea on this day because it was the day that the IT guys were coming to get her connected to her Promethean board and get her computer set up, the router and whatnot. She also had an outlet that didn't work, and so the custodians and whatnot were also coming in to replace her outlet. And so yeah, I had a bit of company. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I found myself getting very emotional, as I am now, as I did it just thinking about Ray and Kayla's reaction to this and how this and Ray are gonna be an everyday part of her life and her students' lives. And Ray would have been super proud of her. He would have said teaching wasn't for him, and he wouldn't have known how Kayla could do it, but he would have been proud of her. You know, Ray was a deputy, and so yeah, they had two very different personalities in that aspect, but he would have been proud of his sister. I later ended up grabbing a couple rolls of the clear contact paper from Dollar Tree and putting it over this just to protect the door from the weather and to preserve it just a bit longer. I love the way this turned out, and Kayla got very, very emotional seeing it and said that it was perfect and impactful. This back bulletin board was the only bulletin board that Kayla had in her classroom. Now this is a bit of a smaller classroom. It doesn't look that way through the camera lens, but it really is a smaller classroom. It was more long than it was wide. And so we didn't have, I guess you can say, a lot of bulletin board real estate to put stuff up on her walls. And Kayla is a very visual learner. And so she really embraces all the different learning types. But she feels like for visual learners, she really wanted to have things up on the wall that they see repeatedly, that change out, because she really feels like for those visual learners, the more you see it, the more you retain it. Okay, do you want it that way? Or do you want it that way? This is starting with the black and white. Okay, so then we'll do, this needs to go about a quarter of an inch up.
turn it back there.
I've had a lot of questions in the last couple videos about what subject and what grade Kayla is teaching. Kayla is teaching at a high school, and she is teaching 11th grade US history and 12th grade civics and econ. She has her bachelor's degree in political science and is working towards her master's. At this time, she is still in the credentialing program, so she is or has her intern credential. She is 1 semester away from having her teaching credential. She has to complete her second TPA. She already completed her first and passed it with flying colors. And so this semester she has to work on her second TPA, and then she will be fully credentialed. She can actually teach uncredentialed as long as she is working towards it. And that way she doesn't have to continue to be a student teacher. If she wasn't teaching, she would have to continue to be in the student teaching program. Only this semester she would have had to be there 5 days a week. And since our high school district had a job fair and they were looking for quite a few history teachers, Kayla decided that she would apply just to see if she could get the job, so that way she was getting paid and it would give her kind of a leg up in getting some more experience under her belt in her own classroom setting. And so yeah, this way she didn't have to student teach again, and yet she's getting credit for it. So the bulletin board that we're working on now is going to be her word wall. One side is going to be for US history and the other side is going to be for civics and econ. In each unit there is 9 to 12 vocabulary words that Kayla will be focusing on and testing the students on. And so each unit, this word wall will be changed out with new vocabulary words. And this way, again, by the kids seeing these words, they will be words that they will be looking at for a week or two. And so maybe it will help familiarize them with the word and it won't be such a foreign word to them going forward in the future. They'll recognize it. Kayla was adamant that she wanted pops of color included in with the visual aids that she's adding, because she really feels like bright colors or color in general just kind of catches your eye to something, and sometimes when you see color with it, it just helps you remember differently. Kayla uses colored index cards when she studies because it helps her. And so again, like I said, she is a visual learner, and so small things like this can make all the difference when you're implementing these typical or different learning styles into your teaching and your classroom atmosphere.
Whoa. That looks fabulous. Like, the spacing isn't the issue, it's the fucking bar. W needs to go a little higher. A little more high. Why is the O like that? O needs to go lower.
I have also been asked what font it is I'm using. I am using Banger's font, as I thought that this was a really cool looking font. It is awful to work with because if it's italic lean, it made it very hard to get straight. Not recommended.
Is that even how you spell word? I'm so like W-O-R-D, yes. Right now, it's not like a word. Oh wow, you're gonna check your phone. That's how you spell word. No, like you know what I mean though? Like when a word doesn't look like the way it's supposed to look. Like that? Yeah. That looks way better. I think that's why it looks so weird because the D was standing straight up. Yeah. And the rest of it was slanted.
The walls in this classroom are cement and cinder block, so yeah, hot glue is gonna work, and if I have to peel it up later, then I will.
32-year-old female by my staff.
Yeah, way better.
I tell you, I am my own worst critic. I have come to the realization that US history, civics, and econ needs to be a bit bigger, and I feel like I'm gonna switch out word wall for a different font and make it a bit bigger too, but that will be for another day. At this point, we just need to get these bulletin boards up, and if we've got some extra time, then I will switch out the things that I wanna redo. Most of the border or the colored border that I got on Amazon. They had like a 6-pack for $5 or $6, and it was in the boho color scheme that we were going with. And the rest of the bulletin board border, like this black one, I wanna say I got at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, to just steer away from it looking elementary and younger. It's why we decided to go with the double border and use the color just as an accent and the black as the bolder outline. And there we have it. And this is what Kayla will be using her filing cabinets for, along with food storage. Is this word wall and switching out the words for each of the units. I didn't even know that people still used filing cabinets, and so yeah, we figured one of them is for food storage and the other one is going to be for the things on her wall that she switches out for the units. Yeah, we are all over the place today. This is the front of the classroom. There is 2 whiteboards on each side of what looks to be like a TV, but that is the Promethean board. It takes the place of, I guess, say maybe a projector, and it's really cool. It's connected to the computer, and there's all kinds of apps on there, and it's just a really cool means and way of helping the teachers teach. And so because Kayla has no need for a whiteboard, a chalkboard, any of that, we're gonna go ahead and cover this up with paper and again add to the real estate of the wall so we can add more decor and more things to catch the eye of the students and really try to get them excited about US history, civics, and econ. Now, I know some of you may say, who in the world gets excited about that? Well, I will tell you that Kayla has a love for political science. She loves history. She's not a huge world history fan. She'll teach it if she has to, but she really loves US history. And she had a way of getting me excited about it when she was going through school. And I learned a lot politically and historically. And so I don't have a doubt in my mind that Kayla is not going to have the ability to engage the students with these otherwise maybe boring subjects, or what used to be boring, because she does not make it boring. She makes it interesting. And that's what's gonna make her such a fantastic teacher. I'm a proud mama.
We need more days.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna get any more days, so what we need to do is look. See why I said we should not do the doors first?
You didn't not hearing me complain not one single bit about the doors.
Because the doors are not necessity of this story.
If I didn't say so yet, painter's tape is a must. It made life so much easier because by outlining the metal frame of this with painter's tape, it then allowed me the ability to use hot glue to put the borders up. And so when I want to take the borders down, I just pull them up and up they come with the painter's tape, and voila, the metal framing of this bulletin board and whiteboard is not damaged. And so yeah, I went through probably 3 rolls of painter's tape because I really just wanted to make sure that everything was temporary. For the reasons of you never know where Kayla's future goes or where she might end up. At this time, she has every intention of staying where she's at for as long as she can. That's why we're putting the work into this that we are. But if for some reason life should take her in another direction, we want to be able to just take things down and leave the room as it was given to us. The inspiration for this board came from this pin here. Kayla saw this pin on Pinterest, absolutely loved it, told me it was a must for her classroom. She is all about inspiring and self-affirmations. And so, yeah, we are putting our own spin on this and using people that Kayla finds inspirational. And this is what we came up with. Now, as I'm doing this, I want to say that I was trying to really convince myself that I liked the border because Kayla liked it. And I was really trying to be positive and say, okay, I like this border, I love it, but I absolutely hate it. And as I started putting up her wall here, I hated it even more, but I just kept going with it because this is Kayla's classroom and I'm really trying to let her have the control over the decor without really stepping in. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with it and hope for the best. Haha, and this here is the project that I was looking for where I can incorporate twine into it. So that's what I'm gonna do. In her inspirational picture, it looked like they used yarn, and so I'm gonna use twine to connect the person with their famous quote. And there we have it. I'm gonna sit on this for a day or two and see if I change my mind. Went to Walmart, we picked up a couple clipboards, painted them black, and these are going to go in her classroom. We have 2 of them, one for US history, one for civics and econ, and they're gonna go on each side of the Promethean board. And these are going to be used for the students' work who forget to put their name on their work. And that is really a thing, and it happens more times than not. And I know this because I have a 14-year-old at home, Allison, who is very good at forgetting to put her name on her classwork, on her schoolwork. And I go on to Power School and I see that there's a missing assignment, and she tells me she did it. She goes to the teacher and the teacher sends her right on over to the no name bin, and what do you know? There is Allison's work in there with no name. And so, yeah, we're gonna have a spot where Kayla can hang it up, and that way it will be in view. So if one of the students sees their work hanging up there, they will then realize that their work is up there and that they didn't put their name on it. And they can grab it, put their name on it, and get credit for it. Kayla also wanted to dry erase boards because she wants it in visual sight what they are doing that day in class. And so that way there is an expectation set when the kids come into class. They will know what they're doing and where the day is going. Okay, so Kayla was in agreement with me. She did not like the border either. You can see under the Promethean board that I have a polka dot border. That was the original border that we picked out that goes with the color scheme of her room. It's not super close up, so you can't see it, but it's got the boho colors, the mint green, the peach, the cream, the blue, the gray. And so deviating from that border just didn't work the way I think Kayla was hoping it would. So she told me I could go ahead and fix it with more of the polka dot border. Now for this, I am not taking that yellow and orange border down because guess what? It's hot glued. And if I pull it down, that blue paper is gonna come with it, and I don't wanna go buy another roll of paper. So I'm just gonna go over the border and make it a bit thicker, make it a double border, and I think it's gonna do what I need it to do. Or at least I hope it does, because this just was not working for me. Oh my word, so much better. Okay, I am super happy now. I love this wall. I love the way it looks, and it is all just cohesive. Now, moving on to the cliffhanger. Yeah, those curtains that I took down. This was 13 yards of curtain that I took down. And I didn't realize it was 13 until the 10 yards of fabric that I bought at Hobby Lobby wasn't enough. So again, with this, I am allowed to cover it as long as it is temporary. I didn't want to sew anything, sew panels together. So I just decided to utilize the fabric in its entirety and make the stripes go horizontally instead of vertically. And although it isn't going to cover the entire curtain, I figured that I could somehow make it look, or give it, I guess I should say, some personality with the top half being white. Because there are white stripes in this, I think that it kind of just pulls and ties into that. So to cover this, you can see I'm using masking tape, and I'm hot gluing the fabric onto the masking tape so I can then just pull up the masking tape and the fabric will come right off when it's time to go. I felt like I needed some kind of a border between the fabric and the existing curtains, and so I dug into my stash. I had this burlap wired ribbon that I figured would look perfect as the transition between the fabric and the curtain. I was 3 yards short. Hobby Lobby was out of this fabric, so I ordered it online. It was $4.79 a yard. And so this was the most expensive contribution, I'd say, to the classroom renovation because it cost me about $70. But it was worth it because I felt like adding that fabric to these curtains, not only were these curtains just filthy, but I felt like it could be used as a means of adding more color to the room and brightening it up. And so I feel like it was well worth it. And if the school wants to keep it, if and when Kayla is no longer there, they can. If not, it will be easy to remove. And so yeah, let's see how it looks. Oh my word. I am so super happy with how this turned out. The colors, it really makes the butcher block paper stand out. It adds some color. It brings the green out, the white out, and I couldn't be happier with how this looks. Now for this wall here, when the curtains are back, there was no border on the top. And as much as I love this class constitution wall and history teachers always bring up the past, I felt like it was unfinished, like there was more that could be added to it. And so I cut out a couple of die cuts for the class constitution and decided that I would add these to the wall too, along with adding the border on the top. And so because it is the Constitution, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna add more of that so the kids are more familiar with the verbiage of the Constitution. And We the People seemed fitting in the font and the writing that you typically see it in. And right along the bottom, putting in order to form a more perfect union. And that is it for day 4. Stay tuned for day 5 as we are coming to a close and watching this classroom come together. See you next time. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive, please. Bye for now, everybody.